Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't eat your chocolate yet.
I know. It's good stuff.
It is.
It's dangerous. I like this better than the Ghirardelli squares, actually.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So the big question is this. How are leaders like you that recognize people and technology are the backbone of the company they're building continue to make progress when they have no clear idea on how to develop individuals and utilize technology in a way that helps them remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Tom and Michaela, and welcome to the Heart and Hustle Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Heart and Hustle Podcast. This is Miss Michaela. Of course, I am Tom.
Gorging on chocolate. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
Dove chocolate is amazing.
You know, what is it called? There's a name for it, and I think I know, but I'm not going to say it for fear of embarrassment. But when women are just about to have a baby or a bird, either which one.
Okay.
What do they do? Like when the baby's going to come?
They're nesting.
They're nesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. I think that was the word I was thinking. That was the word I was thinking about, but I wasn't sure if that was actually
Yes,
the
it's
term.
a thing.
It's called nesting.
Yes.
Did you nest when you had your kids?
Yes.
You did.
Mm-hmm. You just get this wild, energetic spree of you have to have everything ready to go and everything clean, and the home has to be perfect, and the baby's room has to be perfect, and you just are preparing for that baby to come.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know, something in our nature.
I felt like it this weekend. I felt like I was nesting.
Why?
Well, we're getting ready for this Bronco, and we don't have room. So
We don't. You're right. That's totally the greatest analogy ever.
So it's like
Tom's nesting.
I'm nesting. It's like, I had these extra cars, and what do I do with them? And we sold the Escape to what seems like to be a pretty good guy from Grand Island.
Seems like a nice guy.
Nice guy. And, he had two kids, and we got that thing out of there. That's what we're talking about on my phone here for a second ago. And we got our Jeep Liberty, sorry, Jason, out of there. And that thing is gone.
We sold 2 cars in one day. How often does that happen?
It was crazy. And plus we had like a stack of cash, like an amazing amount of cash. Like, what do we do with all this cash?
It's kind of scary to have that much cash on hand.
It is.
I mean, it's not that much, but it is that much.
Well, it's more than enough that if we would deposit that much cash into a bank, they'd have to fill out Form 8803 or whatever it is, and actually notify the IRS.
Low threshold.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not banking.
We're not banking.
We broke even, maybe.
We had one car with
maybe.
We had one car with 250,000 miles on it, my car, and we had a
20-year-old Jeep Liberty with
97,000
miles.
Jeep Liberty. So I think we did good, though.
Yeah.
I was happy. They were happy. I think it was a fair trade.
Well, one was sold to a 16-year-old first car, which was absolutely perfect. Like, it was a gorgeous car for a first.
It was.
First.
I'd be thrilled with it.
Oh, yeah. It was nice. And then single dad with 2 kids and just beautiful car. High miles, but nice car. I mean, we've never had any issues with it. So it's going to be a good car for them.
That's what scared me. Nothing but oil changes really for all those years and brake pads and tires.
Yeah, it's been a good car. I'm kind of going to miss that one, honestly.
Me too.
Lots of memories in that car.
If cars had ears.
If cars had ears. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else is funny about selling things? I don't know if this is part of the podcast tonight or not, but I read an article, and this kid, I don't know, maybe he's 20-some years old.
Yes.
And hopefully I'll find the article so we can link it here, but he made almost $100,000, $100,000 inside of 6 months. Because he had a virtual, not a real, but a virtual car repair shop
online
in the metaverse.
That's not even officially open yet.
In Decentraland, where he fixed virtually people's cars.
What?
So people would drive their virtual cars in the metaverse, and they would break down. Whatever happened, and they would have to drive into the service station, and his little company, would fix this virtual car.
What? $100,000.
He made $100,000, and then he had NFTs of I don't know what they were, like little gas station NFT photos of, whether it's like girls or gas pumps or whatever it is, in his virtual car repair shop, making $100,000 a year inside of 6 months in a virtual world that really hasn't really officially launched yet. It was called
it's unbelievable,
like Polka or something. I'll get the article, like Polka City or something like that. It was crazy. But
we had this conversation multiple times today. Like, we are both flabbergasted, and we totally understand and get what's happening, but we completely, totally don't understand and get what's happening.
Yeah, it's like, back in the day, I was never a watch connoisseur, but like Rolexes and, these big timepieces that people would collect, Rembrandt's art. And I've never had anything that I actually collected.
No.
Like, I'd never collected
really.
wine. I've never collected baseball. I mean, kind of maybe for a quick minute.
For like
Baseball
30 seconds
cards,
when
yeah.
you're 12 years old.
I collected Star Wars figures for maybe that year and a half in 1984 or 83 when Return of the Jedi came out. I've never collected sneakers, so I've never collected an item. Like, I have a bunch of something. I don't think you have either, have you?
No, not really. Not
But
really.
I think we're in the minority. I think most people have.
I don't know about that. But even if, okay, so the people who we were watching today who were talking about why this is a thing, why NFTs, why these little clip arts online are going for like $100,000, $200,000.
Like Bored Ape.
$1 million, $2 million.
That's right.
Like, they're comparing that to Rembrandt's of the past, like, and how, like, today for people to have classic art, collectible art is absolutely ridiculous, because what are you going to do? You're going to put it in a museum. You're going to show it to somebody who says, I have a lot of money, I have a lot of art. But now that is happening online.
That's right.
And you're taking a literal 1 inch by 1 inch picture, selling it for millions of dollars.
It's the status symbol.
It's a status symbol, but it is totally, not only do we have classism in our physical reality, we are now going to have classism
in our virtual reality.
Yeah. And it is going to completely break down that society, which at one point was for the masses. Like, that knowledge and that accessibility was for everybody who could get on a www. something address. And now it is completely it's going to become a classist society online. It's a fake world. Yeah. But yet that is going to be just as classist as we are in our physical reality.
This world right now is literally 1999 starting all over again, with Web 3.0, with NFTs, metaverse, with, virtual real estate. And there's a guy I read that he's actually renting out his real estate inside of the metaverse. So he bought real estate to rent out to people inside the metaverse so that they could occupy this space to perform services inside there. So it's like, it's our world over here now. And there's people, and I say kids, people, adults, whatever it is, and they're out there inside this virtual world working, inside this virtual world, selling their stuff.
Okay, so
they're entrepreneurs inside of this world. What
is going to happen to the actual, real, physical world? Like I said this afternoon, we are going to end up...
You're double going here.
I'm double fisting it. Like, I am awestruck at what is happening right now, because you know what's going to happen to goods and services in reality? It is going to skyrocket. You are going to end up paying hundreds of dollars per hour. I mean, plumbers
hour.
are already expensive the
I
way
know,
it is. But you're going to end up paying even more because everybody's going to start moving to this virtual reality. And it is going to be extremely difficult to find somebody who can actually fix a toilet in reality.
It is.
You are going to pay huge amounts of money for that service.
I don't know who it was. I think, as we were building the nest out, as we were building the coop out, I'm not sure which one it was, but the technician, they were billing them out at $140 an hour, maybe 120. And these were plumbers and electricians. I think it was plumbers or HVAC. It was one of the two because electricians it wasn't John at Stars and Stripes. It was somebody else, but they were billing them out at $140 an hour. I'm thinking, I get embarrassed if we have to bill out our engineers at $140 an hour.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why, because everybody else does it.
And they're worth it by all means, but at the end of the day, it's just like the HVAC guy was $140 an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't bill by hour though. We never have.
No, I think it's wrong.
It's gonna flip society. It's going to flip our world. Is going to flip reality upside down. And the fact that, we're even literally we're buying into this, and I hate it. I hate it, but we're doing it. We're even buying into it by buying our 8-year-old son Robux. Is that what you call it?
Fortnite V-Bucks.
Fortnite V-Bucks?
V-Bucks.
We are part of it.
It is.
We are already part of it with our 8-year-old son.
That's right.
That's how sneaky this has been coming up.
The thing is that they're growing up with it, and I think it's become that time when these, the kids have grown up with this to the point. It's like there's 15-year-old kids that have been growing up with buying skins and buying this stuff now, and it's just been their world.
It's normal.
They don't know any difference.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
And we're like, why am I spending blah amount of money on something that we can't touch, feel, see, nothing? They're gonna play it, and I think
the cheapest piece of land right now was it land? It was land. It was real estate within Decentraland. I think Polka Dots, whatever it is out there. I should know this, but was like $13,000 for the cheapest piece of real estate. NFTs.
And did you say that they have landlords in virtual reality now? In landlords.
There's landlords.
Can you imagine?
See, and I think that's what's wrong with the labor market today. We're having a hard time finding resumes.
Everybody is.
Your mom asks us, what can I get you kids for Christmas this year? Your 66-year-old mother asks us at brunch on Saturday morning
what
at
do you
Village
guys want
Inn.
for Christmas? 12 quality resumes, please.
We want 10 high-quality resumes. That's all we want.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
That us and every other entrepreneur out there.
I think honestly we're competing with this. I don't think you're competing against people in the workforce going to work for somebody else. I think you're really competing for people in the workforce that are on the fence of, do I jump into this virtual reality metaverse making real money, or do I go to work every day?
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier about the fact that you are going to, people are going to start moving. We have 19, 20, 25-year-old kids making thousands, if not millions of dollars.
The 12-year-old
that
made
nothing.
The 12-year-old that made like $1.2, $1.3 million, minting her own NFTs.
And then we have the 40-year-old electrician over here asking for $110 an hour. What is going to happen to our labor market through this?
I think it's going to have to be
between that and the pandemic and all the mandates and just what is the next 5 years going to look like in the labor market?
I don't know what the next 5 years are going to look like, but I think as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I think you got to dip your fingers into everything out there. And that's what scared me. Like I put that post on my Instagram post, like, have you ever called, like, I forget what I even said, but it's that feeling when you want to call your mom or have your mom come with you because you're scared, right? And honest to God, I didn't tell you this, but we're sitting today getting our eyebrows threaded. Yeah, I do too. Ding, ding. I mean, they look.
Phil, he had his man card taken away.
My man card kind of left the building. But that post wasn't necessarily about my eyebrows being threaded. Even though I put it that way, it was more about like this whole NFT space. Like, I'm scared. Like, do I put my foot in there? Because once I go in, I'm not coming out. And once I go in, I am going to be staying inside that world to really understand it and get to know it. I am scared.
Well, that scares the shit out of me. I'll tell you that.
I'm scared to go to decentraland.org. I am scared to create an account. And I actually did on my iPhone today. I actually went there. I was as you were getting threaded, by that nice lady. And I went to the website and it wouldn't work on my iPhone. I mean, that's as little as I know. And it says, please do this from your PC. It's like, all right, I'll do it later. But then I actually posted. I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I'm literally scared. And
I'm scared for you to get into it, like scared to death for you to get into it. And I'm scared for you not to get into it. What does that say about where we're at?
It's scary is what it says, what we're at.
It's scary.
I don't know what to do because it's going to, if I got into it, I know for a fact it would consume me. I know, like, when I got into technology and what I would consider IT back in 1997 and a half, that winter, I was addicted. To the point where
changed the trajectory of your life.
It changed my life. And I can't say like addicted, like I was addicted from 8 to 5. I was addicted from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. up until like almost really even today. You just want to learn more and more and more. It was like Matrix. I know the new movie's coming out, but when Neo's lying in the chair and he has the thing in the back of his head, he says, I'm going to learn Kung Fu. That's what I felt like through 20 years of my life. And I literally could not ever explain that, but that's how I felt. I was literally addicted to what I did. Nothing else mattered. And I've talked about this before privately, and I've talked about this before with others, but, I have 5 kids. And I have a hard time remembering major events inside their world because I was so addicted to what I was doing with inside work or everything else. It's very sad, but it is what it is. I can't go back. But I know I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing today without having that experience. And I just feel like coming back full circle, we are at that point again of like, this is the point. Like, you've got to start doing it. But the problem is, the biggest issue is, we look today, we don't have an extra $260,000 out there to buy a Bored
Who does?
Ape.
That's why I'm saying it is going to divide the classes online.
Yeah.
With a platform that was all equal. It's all equal. Everybody has equal access to the web. Is now going to become very, very, very classist.
It is.
And it's a big issue. It's not right. It's not fair. And it's going down a bad trajectory.
It is. All this stuff, everybody's developing their NFT. There's a wonderful company in, I believe, California called like Dronies or something like that. And they're going to launch theirs on January 24th. A lot of people are following them. From what I hear, they're going to be releasing their NFTs, and it's like you get in early and you go buy this stuff. But I don't know what the barrier is right now. Is it $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for this stuff? It's expensive. And so where are the people getting the money up front?
Yeah.
Where are they getting it? Like,
who are these people?
If we cashed in like retirement,
it's the elitist.
It is. If we cashed in, like, if you could say you can cash in right now all your retirement money that you have, and you're going to go and buy a Bored Ape NFT, a picture Are you going to do it? Yes or no?
No, I'm not going to do it. That's freaking scary.
That's where
you are like completely gambling your life savings.
Are you
right
gambling
there.
though?
Yes, you are.
It's like that's where I said you need your mommy to kind of hold your hand here because you're scared.
A mommy don't know what she's talking about when it comes to this shit.
No, she doesn't. But it's like you need your mom to kind of help hold your hand across the street here. Like, is this the right thing to do? Should we be doing this?
Mommy don't know.
And I think there is pieces and parts. Like for me, it's not about the NFTs. It's about the mechanism on the blockchain where we can, offer services. And there's something out there. I haven't put my finger on it yet, but there's something out there for like even our company to be doing and to be not consulting, but I don't know what it is. There's a piece that we have to get involved with this stuff like yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it's yesterday.
I know.
So I don't know. I mean, do we start up a virtual IT company where we virtually
I was thinking about that
the virtual
too.
problem?
I was actually thinking about that
How
too.
about all the HR issues that are going to exist for these virtual business owners inside this virtual world? Then they need a virtual HR person.
It's happening, y'all. It's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen either. I just know this is real, and it's not going away. And I think those that are the first movers are going to have to capitalize on it and start talking about it and start getting involved with it because it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Okay, well, you're going to have to help us all figure out how to balance the virtual world with reality because I feel like
but what is reality though? Because let's take a step back. I mean, this is this human form of this stuff here. This is what I would consider reality. But there's people like my son Maverick, he understands what reality is when he's outside kicking the ball. But when he's like embedded inside of Fortnite or Roblox or whatever it is, that is his reality.
And therein lies the problem.
Is it the problem?
It is the problem.
Is that the problem?
It's an absolute problem.
But if that's where the future's going, if that's where it's going to be at in 20 or 30 years, do you want him not to succeed inside that reality?
No, I don't want him to lose touch with actual reality.
We went to the
things
bank.
You can touch, feel, see, hear.
I understand that, but we went to the bank today. We went, sorry, Ben, we had to go power on a couple of laptops in the basement of a bank today so that our team could finish setting those up for a customer, whatever that was, okay? And when we pulled out of the bank, what did you and I see?
When we pulled out of the bank.
We pulled out of the bank and we said, oh, look at that. What did we see? The black thing going down the road. What was that?
A train, as always?
No.
What?
It was that Model T. Remember?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
We saw like a 1920 whatever. I'm not good. Model T, model whatever it was, Ford. And we're sitting in our 2021 Bronco Sport, heated seats, nav, auto, everything. I mean, the thing does everything you want in life. And that was our reality. It's like we're sitting in this high-tech thing, and that's our reality.
I freaking hate it when you make a good point. But that
Model T back.
But you could still feel and touch and see that. Like that seems so less intangible than what we're facing right now.
I understand that, but the classic part of driving back in the day, back in that Model T, I mean, he was paying attention to the road. I mean, he had no power steering, probably no power brakes, and that's his reality. He's pushing. And inside of our car, we have like, Ford 360 Copilot and auto lane thing, and we press a button and you don't have to touch a steering wheel for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, and it keeps you in line.
You can start your engine from an app.
Yeah, I mean, that's like this virtual weird world. And now Tesla's, what was the article today where the lady gave birth in the passenger seat of a Tesla on Copilot or an autopilot?
What the heck is happening to Okay, what I'm saying is, let's bring this back to what we're dealing with right now. Like Christmas is less than a week away.
It is.
And we have zero plans with any of our family,
No, nothing.
any of our friends, any of our close relatives, any of our extended family, nothing.
Sounds great to me.
We have zero plans with anybody because everybody is living in their own little world, and there's this complete disconnection.
We're Googling over dinner tonight, like, what to do on New Year's Eve, and there's like, on Eventbrite, there's like, join the Zoom party.
Are we just revealing how pathetic we are? But anyway, our family, friends, etc., are so disconnected.
They are.
And that's the reality I'm referring to. We are so far socially disconnecting from humanity.
You are not right, but you are also very, very wrong.
I am so right on.
You and your 43-year-old self and me and my 48-year-old self, we are absolutely correct here.
Exactly.
But the problem is this, is that Maverick, for example, my son, and our kids, probably 13 and below, these kids, they're never, ever going to know what it's like to go to great-grandma's, to go to grandma's, and have Christmas.
Ever.
And is that bad?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
It's bad to you. It's bad to me. But what's going to happen in a few years? You're going to put on your VR goggles here, and you're going to be in a virtual world with the grandkids.
And this is exactly the process and how VR, how robots are taking over, because we have zero connection with our ancestors. So why not let a robot be our mother?
You're still going to have the connection because you're still going to have the feeling.
No.
Yes.
No.
You will have the feeling in your head that you're being with them, even though you have the VR thing on. You're speaking, you're experiencing.
Do you not see a problem with this?
I don't know, because
it's a huge issue.
Think about the movie. When's the last movie that you felt a connection with that you actually cried?
It's been forever. I don't even remember.
I love Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
I cried. When he came back at the end there, I cried. But what happens is you get immersed inside that world, and you're like in that world.
But it's not real.
But when you're going to the point, you don't know it's not real.
That's the problem.
Your emotions are still there, though.
That's the problem.
Is it a problem,
It's a problem.
Can't buy it.
It's a problem. There is zero connection with actual humanity.
No,
you are becoming a cyborg.
I don't think so.
You're becoming a cyborg.
Back 100 years ago, when someone would write a physical letter, and they would spend the hours writing that letter by the fireplace, and they're doing all this stuff, and then now they have a connection, and they put it in the mailbox, and the mailman comes on his freaking horse.
There's totally something to be said about it.
And he delivers that letter, and it takes 3 weeks to get across the country.
Totally
and
something
Grandma
to be said
reads
about
it.
it.
Now you can tweet it. What is the difference? The difference is just speed. Because the reaction to Grandma...
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about human connection, human touch, human feel, human eye-to-eye contact, human embrace.
But you're going to see it. You saw it in Tinder, or not you, but you saw it on online dating.
No.
You felt it, though.
No.
I mean,
it's not the same.
It's not the exact same.
It's not the same.
You still have the feeling.
It's not the same.
If you texted me...
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but when you would text me, or I would probably not email, but instant message, text, whatever it is, back in the day, and you smiled, or I smiled, you had a connection there. We didn't talk. We didn't see each other's eyes.
It's not the same.
We spoke back and forth.
It's not the same.
I don't know. I think the feeling...
Could you have a virtual relationship with me for the rest of your life without this, without touching, without hugging, without kissing, without sleeping together? with each other at night without hearing each other's voice, without any of that? Could you do that?
But what I'm saying is that my answer right now is no. But I think most people growing up inside that world, the answer can be a resounding yes.
How sad is that? How heartbreaking is that? That your kids might not have the same connection that you and I have. There is no replacement for that.
It's the same thing with self-driving cars. I cannot imagine driving a Tesla. I cannot imagine on autopilot. I can't imagine the new lucid dreams out there having a vehicle out there where I physically can't touch that steering wheel.
We were talking to the guy about the Escape having the park assist ability and how you could hit a button and it would parallel park for you.
It does.
And that was scary as hell.
That was 7 years ago.
To allow that that control of that vehicle out of your hands and to let the vehicle do that.
Right.
That is what I'm talking about.
But it's there.
I don't care if it's there. It's not normal. It's not safe. It's not healthy in the long run.
It's not your normal.
It's not safe. It's not healthy. It's not normal in the long run. It's the degradation of our society.
But the issue is that's where the kids are growing up.
I don't care.
And I know you don't care, but that's the fact. That's where they're growing up.
I don't care. It's scary. It scares the hell out of you, too. I know it does. It does.
It does, but it doesn't. It amazes me, but at the same time, it doesn't scare
I'm not saying
me.
it doesn't amaze me. Like, it freaking fascinates me. Like, the ability we have to do the things we have is incredible.
I've seen you FaceTime your... She's a grandma. I've seen you FaceTime your grandkids over FaceTime.
I love that, but it is not the same as seeing them and touching their face and smelling their hair and looking to their eyes. It will never be the same.
No.
Never.
I agree with that. But you do enjoy that.
I enjoy it because it replaces me not being able to see them.
That's right.
But it will never, ever, ever, ever replace me being able to see them and kiss them and touch them and feel them and smell them. And
it's the same thing with driving a Tesla with autopilot. It's never going to be the same of grabbing a steering wheel, raw gas, and go. We can't
even handle the auto start and auto stop on our new Bronco. No. Like, we bypass that because we don't like that technology.
No.
So what are we fighting against here?
I'm glad we added Pepsi to that. Are you?
Yes.
We got pretty animated. I don't know.
I seriously I'm passionate about this. Like, I am excited about this and I am scared to death for this.
I am too.
Because I have watched people and families and society over the last 2 years alone. And what the I'm sorry, Victoria, beep that out if you have to. But what the is going on? Like, weird shit is happening. Is it not? And it's only going to get weirder. And it scares me.
I think weird stuff is happening. I think it's progression. I think it's ultimately going to end up, that's the way it is. And I think you can't be naive and not understanding that's the way it's going. So you got two options: either hop on the freight train or not.
Well, that's what I meant when I said I'm scared for you not to hop on that train, but I'm scared for you to hop on that train. Because I feel like if you don't hop on that train, we are going to get left behind and we're going to regret some of the decisions that we did not make. Mm-hmm. However, I feel like it's one step towards the degradation of our reality. What we've always known. I think, and that's scary.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it is a degradation of our reality of what we've always known. I think, people, my great-great-grandfather or great-great-great-grandfather, whoever that may be, I think he had the same thing of the degradation of his reality of what he had or what my great-great-great-grandmother had, or now what my son has or my daughter has. That is their reality. Everybody lives inside their own reality. And no one's reality is a perfect reality. It's just how it is. And I think everybody, you and myself, me, we have to understand that my grandfather, who's 93 years old right now, still alive and kicking, living with my grandmother, who is 90 years old, in their home that they've been in there for years and years and years, they have their reality. And he does not understand right now why there's a password that I had to figure out on his Yahoo account for him to view his stocks, where at the end of the day, that is his reality, watching the stock market as he's been doing for the past 50 years. In the same day, I'm reading about Bored Apes, NFTs, dronies, crypto punks, and we're stuck. It's like, I get we have to understand that he has his reality. I have my reality, and my kids, your kids, our kids, they have their reality. And I think the ones that are going to win are the ones that are going to simply understand the entire spectrum of this reality, our reality, and their reality, and somehow mix everything together. And they get it, and they don't judge. But I do understand the variable is the physical relationship. And that is a part of that is a variable. But I'm not going to say the emotions are any different.
I would agree with that. But that in turn makes it just as dangerous.
It does. Yeah, you don't, That's why Tinder and these virtual dating sites
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
they're dangerous. I was going to grab that too.
The fact that those emotions, like our brain can't tell the difference between those emotions.
No, they can't.
And how does our brain keep us safe between what is real and what is not?
That is the issue, and I agree with that. That is the issue. What is real and what is not? What is reality and what is not? And I think when you have, augmented, like virtual reality, I get. Augmented reality is the one that scares me.
Yeah, I don't.
And augmented is when I put those glasses on. I put on Apple Glass that's coming out, and I'm running down the road, and I see, or driving, and I see a virtual pink elephant, like literally hopping down the road as I'm driving. That whole augmented thing, that's what scares me, is because now, George Costanza, the worlds are going to collide.
Worlds are colliding!
And that's what's going to be scary.
That's what scares me. That's what I'm talking about.
I can delineate right now my virtual and my physical reality.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. At some point, we're not going to be able to. Our brains will not be able to tell the difference.
It's because we lived in this reality. We lived in the physical. Now we're going into the virtual. This whole Gen X thing, I mean, at the end of the day, Gen X is probably the best generation. I hate to say it, but one of the best to live in, because we actually bridge that gap. We have one leg in one. We have the ability to have one leg in the other. And we have that. Now, some of us are more apt to just stick with the old. Some of us may be jumping to the new. But at the end of the day, we both know both. My grandfather, your parents, my parents, they don't get it. Our kids, they don't get it. But we get it.
But that's the scary part.
It is.
I mean, being able to see past and future and not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
To bridge that gap, if that's even possible.
I don't know, man. All I know is I'm jumping in. I don't know where I'm going to find $250,000 to buy the Bored Ape. And I don't know where I'm going to find an extra $13,000 to buy a piece of real estate inside Decentraland or whatever it is out there right now.
We're still trying to pay off the land that we actually own.
I know.
We can physically put a foot on.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, y'all. What's going to happen?
Let me know your thoughts. Jump in, comment. I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going to go.
I don't know either.
Enjoy the show, guys. Let us know your comments. Feel free to rein in. Let us know what you think. I mean, are we right? Are we wrong? Or are we missing it? I don't know.
Find out. Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining tonight. We appreciate it. We got to go inside and duke it out and kind of have makeup discussions.
Yeah, discussions.
There you go. I'll see you guys later. Bye.